Each day you need to oil the machine, so get the oil bottle and just go around to all of the holes that have the little red mark around them and just place a drop of oil in each of those, and this will just keep the machine well lubricated, so that it should sew well for you. The stitch length and the reverse lever are in this section on the right hand side of the machine. To operate reverse, you pull the lever up and keep it up while you're stitching, and then let go of it to go forward again. Now the stitch length, there's a bit of a guide down here to do with the stitch length, 0 being this line here. You don't want to do a small stitch when you're using this thicker thread and for the types of fabric that you're using it on. So generally you'll have the lever set to one of these bottom markers, and to change it you just loosen off the screw here in the middle and then move it to whatever length you want. As you can see, the stitch length is getting bigger as I'm unscrewing it, and then when I'm happy with it I can just leave it there and it's ready to go. Okay, so when you're ready to go you can use the knee lift to get your work in under the foot of the machine. Turn the power on. Just make sure the thread is out to the side and you can start to sew. Just use the knee lift to get the needle thread out of the way. Now this machine will finish always with the needle in the work, which is great. If you need to turn, then you know that you're not going to lose your place in the work. You can just lift the presser foot up and go on with it. Now when you finish and you want to remove your work, it's important that you take the needle out. Now I can turn the machine off. Take the needle out, so you need to turn the hand wheel towards you until the needle is lifted out, and then make sure that the take-up lever is at its highest point. You want it always to return to that point. So once you've done that, you can use your knee lift again and draw your work out away from you and then cut it off. That just stops any pulling on the needle, which could bend the needle and damage it. And that's sewn that really well. Always check your tension on both sides of the work to make sure that it's sewing well. One last tip, at the beginning and end of sewing, it's often a good idea to do what's called a back tack. So you would go forward, turn the machine on, forward 2 or 3 stitches and then go into reverse, and then forward again. And the same at the end, reverse and forward. And what that does is it just secures the work so that it won't unravel. So you can see I've got a back tack at the beginning and at the end, and that will just stop the thread from unraveling.